What's going on there, everyone? Well, America's biggest congressional mistake is back at it. Let's see. AOC tries to block another big company from her district. Says it will steal immigrant jobs. I don't think it will, but let's get into the story. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is trying to chase off another corporation that wants to do business in her district. You know, for a woman who supposedly went to college for economics and stuff, she sure doesn't know anything about how an economy or anything, for that matter, works. I mean, literally anything. She didn't know what a garbage disposal was. At 28, 29 years old, she didn't know what a garbage disposal was. Wow. Ocasio-Cortez, who last year helped stop Amazon from opening a campus headquarters in Long Island City, urged State Liquor Authority Chairman Vincent Bradley to deny Total Wine and More a license to open a box store in College Point, Queens. Although the applicant said the store would create about 100 local jobs, AOC warned the low prices would undercut neighborhood liquor stores. The Democrat and a Democratic socialist and advocate for something resembling open borders voiced particular concern for potential impact on immigrants. Really? So, really? Liquor stores is what you want to really... That's your little hill that you want to die on? You already screwed up big time with the Amazon deal. So now another pretty decent sized company wants to come in and you want to ruin that also, which would create 100 jobs. And trust me, when it comes to liquor stores, they're not going to lose no business, AOC. Trust me. There's about 45 minutes away from me, there's a Total Wine and More. You know what surrounds that store? Like 5 Virginia ABC stores, our liquor stores. And they're not hurting. They're not hurting at all. Total Wines and More and companies like this are more specialty liquors and specialty wines and stuff like that. Stuff that's harder to find. It's not going to impact the average person who's just going to get a pint of whiskey or a pint of vodka or something. It's just not. And let's continue. My district enjoys many of the benefits of a vibrant small business or economy, except for you being part of it. Job creation for and by community members, socioeconomic mobility for immigrants and new Americans, and long-lasting relationships between proprietors and their customers. Ocasio-Cortez said in the September 17th letter to Bradley obtained by the New York Post. I'm deeply concerned about the potential impacts that MCT fine wines and spirits would have on the local small business community. A large retailer with ties to a billion-dollar nationwide chain, Total Wines has access to resources and economies of scale with which smaller retailers cannot compete, she said. But they can compete. They can. Competition is the name of the game in the market. They can easily compete with these people. I mean, I will say I'm not 100% sure on the liquor laws of New York. I don't know them. Our liquor laws in Virginia are pretty strict on who can sell. Like, you have to be a Virginia ABC to sell anything over a certain percentage of alcohol, which is relatively low. It's like 20-something% or something. But it's not going to affect the community in a negative way. It would bring 100 more jobs. And like I said, it's more of a specialty store. It's not for your average wino or run-of-the-mill drunkard. Ocasio-Cortez concluded, in order to support our small businesses, I humbly state my opinion to MCT Fine Wines and Spirits application to operate a retail liquor establishment in College Point, New York. Total Wine, sometimes called the Walmart of liquor, has nearly 200 stores across the 23 states and estimated annual revenue of $3 billion. After allowing Total Wine to open a store on Long Island 2017, state regulators blocked 2 attempts by the chain to open a second store under pressure from local liquor merchants and the New York State Retailers Alliance. New York state law bars major liquor chains from applying for a state license in the name of protecting smaller merchants. But Michelle Trone, the applicant for the Total Wine store in College Point, sought to open an individual store under a different corporate name, MCT Fine Wines and Spirits, which is allowed. Trone is the daughter of Ocasio-Cortez's Democratic colleague in the House, Representative Dave Trone of Massachusetts, who co-owns Total Wine. Good reason. Another good reason for me not to go to Total Wine, though. It's operated by Democrats. No, I'm kidding. I don't boycott things because of political leanings. That's ridiculous. Ocasio-Cortez was won over by appeals from neighborhood liquor store owners who also flipped dozens of Queens officials who initially supported Michelle Trone's application, the Post reported last week. While the merchants praise Ocasio-Cortez for taking their side, it is unclear how her other constituents will feel about losing a big employer that sells cheap booze. Her leading role in scaring off Amazon last November has proved unpopular. She seems to be really good at scaring things off. But that's kind of this socialistic progressive thing. They scare people off because they're mental. In April, Siena College poll found that 57% of voters in Ocasio-Cortez's 14th congressional district think Amazon's withdrawal was bad for New York. A March poll by the same pollster showed that citywide, Ocasio-Cortez is seen as the biggest villain in the Amazon saga. What she almost practically single-handedly took that deal down, which would have seen the internet giant create 25,000 new jobs in exchange for $3 billion in subsidies. 25,000 new jobs. She got booted out because she just didn't like it. More than 2/3 of New Yorkers wanted the deal to go through, according to Siena College. The best thing this woman right here could do is just to not speak her opinion, because her opinion is trash. I mean, she doesn't make any sense in anything she talks about. She is literally making a mockery of our government. The fact that, there needs to be a better vetting process. I don't know. I don't know what they should do. But we need to make sure that people like her do not become in a position of power in our government. Because it's too hard to get them out. Especially when they're living in a complete nonsensical fairyland. She doesn't exist in the same realm as everyone else. She's often her... Well, that's kind of a socialist communist thing. They live in this dream world where they think that history doesn't actually, show anything about their ideology. It's just, they didn't do it right. Stuff like this. That's kind of what I get from a lot of socialists. Everything's just not done right, nor has it ever been done right. But we can do it better. Yep. So she's chasing off every single giant business, big corporation she possibly can out of her district. These corporations which will bring jobs and bring competition, which competition is a good thing. It makes when everyone's on their toes when running a business, it's better for the consumer generally. It really does help the consumer because, deals here. We got a sale on here. Everyone's competing for your business, which is a good thing. It's like capitalism at its best. But I just don't get it. I don't think she will ever truly have New Yorkers in her thoughts. And it's funny how she immediately had to go to the immigrant community because she likes to get things polarized in a weird way. She likes to pit groups against each other. That seems to be her main thing. The way I see it, we're all Americans. We should work together as Americans. Stop calling this community over here an immigrant community. They're an American community. Whether they were immigrants once before, if they have their American citizenship, they are an American community. They're not an immigrant community. So stop using that as an argument because it's a fallacy to think. But I'd love to hear your comments on this. AOC, is she going to screw the New Yorkers out of more jobs? Or will she back down? Will Total Wine back down? Who knows? If I was Total Wine, I would not back down because she does not have the will of the people on her side at this moment, especially with this type of issue. But as always, like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the flip side.